Hi, and welcome to another episode here of The Nursing Show. I'm your host, Jamie Davis, and we're back here at the Preparedness Summit with our friends at NACCHO. And we're in the podcast studio here talking to different folks about some of the topics that are hot topics and discussion subjects here at the conference. And if you haven't been able to make it to this conference, you definitely need to make an effort to get here next year, because this is one of those opportunities to really get dug into what your public health organization or your local agency is doing to be more prepared for events. And we're going to be talking about food safety. So I have with us Dave Dijak from NACCHO.
You bet.
And Sam Wong from the town of Hudson.
Town of Hudson, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. And Dave, let's start with you. Food safety, it's a very broad topic. In fact, we were talking about that right before we got started recording here.
It's a gargantuan topic. Just imagine, each and every one of us eats each and every day, as far as I know. And because of the population health implications, NACCHO, which stands for the National Association of County and City Health Officials, provides technical assistance to the nation's 2,800 local health departments, which are oftentimes the organization which backstops food safety in the local environment. What we do know is 1 in 6 Americans suffers from a foodborne illness of some kind each year. That's almost 50 million U.S. citizens.
That's an astounding number.
It's a huge number. And sadly, 3,000 people a year, we believe, die from some type of foodborne contamination.
And it's not just the E. coli outbreaks we hear about, or some other outbreaks where the produce hasn't been handled properly, or a restaurant improperly cooks the food item. There are other places and ways that these things can crop up, I guess, in our awareness.
Right. So we're interested from farm to fork, from the whole public health system and the food production system. And this is where all of us in the public health infrastructure have a role and responsibility that there's a safe and secure food supply for all of America.
Now, Sam, how does the town of Hudson or other small local agency interact with NACCHO to access some of the resources they have?
One of the ways that we access NACCHO's help is through their website. They have a lot of technical information there for us to tap into.
Okay.
And several times, actually, I contacted NACCHO staff to ask for technical assistance as well. So
to really provide that backstop.
Correct.
For you to better prepare your community and think for things.
I think NACCHO is in excellent positions to serve as a clearinghouse to share best practices from other jurisdictions.
Yep.
We might not get those information at federal sites or a state health department, but we can get it through NACCHO.
Because they're really focused on that local view.
Yeah, Jamie, one of the things that we know is that local health officials love to learn from other local health officials.
Absolutely.
And NACCHO acts as almost like an intermediary, collecting those best practices, as Sam pointed out, and sharing those with the nation at large.
Excellent. So when we talk about food safety, one of the things that came up was what if there is a natural disaster of some sort? Or this past year, the ice storms that hit the East Coast, we lost power. Some of my neighbors lost power for 4 or 5 days in southeastern Pennsylvania area, and that has a huge effect on a community when you think about we don't have any refrigeration.
Right.
Think about at a larger scale, if it's a busy restaurant, if they lost refrigerations, how are they going to serve food safely?
And it affects everything. And we talked about that chemical spill that happened in West Virginia.
In the Elk River? Yeah, of course. So as contaminants enter the water distribution system, then questions come up about, is the water safe to drink? Is the water safe to bathe my child? Is the water safe for any number of, even to water the garden? And so this affects each and every part of our life. With water in particular, it's considered an access resource because it touches every part of our lives,
Absolutely.
From agriculture to commercial interests, and it affects public health in general.
So how does a town like Hudson prepare for a food safety issue? I mean, how does your health organization get ready for an outbreak or an occurrence where you need to be concerned about food safety?
We do it 2 different ways. First, we reach out on a regular basis. We reach out to our residents to promote food safety practices at home make sure that you cook your Thanksgiving turkey to the right temperature, for example. These type of public health messages, we do it on a regular basis. Second prong is to focus our working relationship with our food service establishments, like restaurants, like the school cafeteria or institution food service. We maintain a good working relationship with them on a regular basis, and then keep them updated on what things they should prepare for, what to do when the power is out, what to do when you don't have a safe running water supply. So they are prepared when they have that kind of situation come up, they know what to do. So these has to be done when there's a peacetime, so to speak.
And that's interesting because a lot of people might think of the local health department and their local restaurants as having maybe an adversarial relationship because you oversee inspections or something like that. But actually, you are providing a really important resource for them to make sure that they're serving their customers and community in a positive way so that they can stay in business.
Absolutely. It's not about just telling them to shut down. It's about preparing them to deal with those situations so that they don't have to shut down.
Right.
So helping them be prepared is helping their business, actually.
It helps their business out.
Absolutely.
If they're prepared for some adverse event, then actually they become a more trusted member of their local community, and they're much more likely to have a loyal following of clients.
So what's the big message this year for food safety from NACCHO? Is there a particular focus you guys are looking at this year?
There's two things I'd like to say to you. One is there's the Food Safety Modernization Act, which NACCHO has been providing a leadership in exporting information about this new act, which is intended to provide additional surveillance support for the nation at large, and I think that's really important. And I think the most practical thing I'd like to leave with you is wash your hands.
Oh.
Okay, 50% of all foodborne illness is related to people not washing their hands properly. So wash your hands with soap and water frequently after you use the bathroom, after you change diapers, after you're out in the yard, and we could cut that 50 million foodborne illness cases in half by simply doing that.
And that's a message that can go from the broad level all the way down to the local level.
Absolutely.
Because local health departments talk about that same thing as well.
Yep.
And I know as a nurse, we're always giving that message out to our patients. Make sure washing your hands, it's the one thing that can keep you healthy better than any other medication or anything else practice out there is just washing your hands frequently. Excellent. Well, Dave and Sam, I want to thank you for joining me here for this segment, and I hope you guys have a great summit. The Preparedness Summit this year is just spectacular. So NACCHO, thanks for putting this together.
It's our pleasure. Jamie, Sam, thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to thank all of you for checking out this episode of The Nursing Show. We'll be back with more segments here from the Preparedness Summit in Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks to our good friends at NACCHO. And I'm Jamie Davis. We'll be back with more soon.